Hello, I want to talk to you today about a new app that I've purchased for all teachers called Explain Everything. This is an app that allows you to make video lessons and tutorials for your students. Kind of another resource to get some of those teacher-made digital resources together. Explain Everything is very similar to the Educreations app that many of you use. Honestly, it's a better teacher tool than Educreations is because it allows for so many more functions, and the way it is saved and shared is much better for teachers this way. Explain Everything may also be a student app next year. It is a paid app. It's not cheap, but if we think it is one that is necessary or will benefit you in the classroom, I'm happy to consider getting that for the grade levels who are interested. So I'm going to go through this app for you. I'm just making this video. We're going to have trainings on this, but this video is going to serve as a resource for you if you ever want to go back and kind of look into using this app again. Once you get your feet wet a little bit, you may want to revisit this video for some different tips on how to use it. It's not a complicated app, but there are lots of functions in it. When you open Explain Everything, you will come to a dashboard. Again, this is much like you see with other apps like Keynote and Educreations. It'll have like all of your work housed within the app. There's also other places to house your Explain Everything, and I'll talk to you about that in just a bit. To create a new project, you're going to hit the plus sign in the upper left-hand corner, and when you do, you're going to see all kinds of templates. Basically, these are color choices for you to choose from. You'll just pick the one that you're the most interested in, and you'll use this as your background. It has a background color. And then you'll notice the 3 color boxes at the bottom are the default colors for this template. If you press and hold down on any one of the colors, it will display a color choice menu that you can choose from. That is a function that is key in Explain Everything, is pressing and holding, because when you press and hold some of these icons at the side, you're going to get menus that pop out, whereas if you just touch them once, the menus will not come out. If I just go down the toolbar, you're going to see the top button is the button that allows you to manipulate things once you put them on the screen. The second tab down, I'm not going to hit that because what that does is add additional slides, and I'm not ready to do that yet. But your slide count at the bottom is shown, so if you hit that, your slide count will increase. You also have a pen feature where you can write on your Explain Everything with your fingers. Something really cool about Explain Everything as well is you can erase anything that you write with your finger here. There's also a delete tool. If I hit, there it is. If I hit that X and then I touch anywhere where I have put something, I'll get an X to delete out just that portion. So instead of having to erase or do undo, like you do when you use Educreations, you can actually delete whole things. That's true for images, it's true for writing, it's true for text. This box below is some tools that you can have. You can insert shapes. There's all kinds of different shapes that you can have. You can assess shadows and borders with those if you want to get fancy. There's also a text icon. If you just tap it once, you'll be able to double tap and type. But if you hold it down, you can actually manipulate the font and the size of the font there. The next button down allows you to insert things from a variety of different sources, and I'm going to show you that in just a bit. And then there are some more features here. This button is actually a pointer, so like a laser pointer. So if you're walking students through a presentation, you can use that pointer for your presentation. Then you have your undo button and your zoom button and those kinds of things that go down. So I'm just going to kind of start building and explain everything for you. I just really kind of want you to see how this app works. So I'm going to type my title. I'm going to actually do an Explain Everything on Explain Everything, since that's what I'm trying to teach you about today. And once you type, you'll notice at the top you can do your format there, so I can center everything. You can also, with Explain Everything, you can touch your text and drag it with your fingers to make it bigger if you want it even bigger. And then when your hand at the top is highlighted, you can manipulate that text around. Add a couple things. And this is much like other text box. You can drag it and justify it, and just like in a lot of other apps. So I'm going to move this here. If I want to insert a picture on my page, again, I just go to that plus sign and I can choose to take a picture. I can choose a file. I'm going to choose an existing picture. I've already loaded my camera rolls with some things that I need. This is a cool feature. Unlike Educreations and some other whiteboard apps, you can actually manipulate your pictures within the app before you put them in. So you can crop them, rotate them, those kinds of things before you add them. But if it's fine as it is, you just hit done. And then you can drag that around. Again, with your pinches, with your fingers, you can make your pictures bigger, smaller. You can rotate them however you'd like it to do it there. Now, this is an awesome feature. Let's say you're putting something together, a video tutorial together, and you want to use a presentation or a PowerPoint or a keynote or something that you've done with your kids in the past. You can access, as long as you allow the app to access it, you can access all of your files on your iPad through Explain Everything, and it'll automatically throw it in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and insert a new page. So I'm going to hit this button here, and I want to add a presentation. So I'm going to go back to add, and this time I'm going to add a file. Now, right now, this is just showing what has been backed up. This backups file is what I've done in Explain Everything. That's not enough. If you look down below, you can see I can access my photos, obviously. I can also access my Dropbox account, which is great because then you can pull anything you have saved there. For Evernote users, you can grab it from there. Google Drive users, you can grab it from there. So it's very versatile. I'm going to hit my Dropbox account. Now, I've already granted Explain Everything permission to access my Dropbox account. I just had to sign in. So there's all of my things. And I'm going to use, I made a keynote about Explain Everything just to show you how to do this. And what I did was I saved it to my Dropbox as a PDF. So I'm going to hit that PDF, and I want you to watch what happens now. So this is the first slide of my keynote. I'm going to hit Choose and watch what's happening. It's telling me that it's loading the document. Watch my slide count down at the bottom. What it's doing is populating slides. So every page of that PDF or every slide of my keynote is getting its own page. So now, instead of having just the 2 slides, it's popped each of those on. So if I advance through, I can walk through it just basically threw that in. So I don't have to recreate all of that. So that's a huge time saver for those of you who already have presentations made about things that you teach your kids, a huge time saver. So that threw that presentation in to my Explain Everything. I'm going to add another new page, again, by hitting that icon there. And I'm going to create a slide about how to talk to you about how we save and share with Explain Everything. I'm going to go ahead and switch text colors just because I haven't done that yet. So you can save and share your Explain Everything. You can do that in a variety of ways. I'm going to throw some pictures in, again, from my camera roll. You can save your movie directly to your camera roll so that it's saved on your iPad. Put that little graphic there. And then you can also send your videos directly to YouTube. Now you can send them to YouTube from your camera roll as well. And again, you'll have to have these accounts, access to these accounts granted to Explain Everything. So you'll have to have your YouTube signed in and whatnot for that. So those are 2 ways that you can save and share. I'm going to add one more slide here. Oops. So I did something I didn't want to do there. Let me erase that little dot. And I'm going to do this again. Make that very big. And I'm going to insert another picture, again from my camera roll. So explain everything basically just lets you walk the students through um, information, content, just like you would do in class. So now I have 6 slides built. Remember, several of those populated from my keynote presentation that I threw in, which is awesome, time saver. And I'm going to go back now to my first slide, and I'm going to show you how to record on Explain Everything. Because right now I've just built my slides. I haven't spoken over any of it for my students.